Hi guys, welcome back to episode 2. I wanted to touch a little bit upon long potting really, and getting your first position, and not necessarily your first position. You might find that when you're playing the game that it could be mid-frame. It could, you might have to put off a long shot in really late in the frame, that sort of thing. But I notice that the comments I receive in game chat, the constructive comments anyway, let's just say. Are asking, how do you know how far to hit it? How do you know the power to get it so that the white is in the perfect position? And it's experience and trial and error. I've messed it up more than I've got it right, but you get to a position where you sort of learn the percentages and the powers and the angles that you need to hit it at. So I've made my break off already. It is a little bit set up because the white didn't finish here, but for practice purposes and just to show you, I just positioned it like this to leave a long pot on and give us options. So the idea is that you get into a position where you can take a colour off this red. Now the problem that you have, and as you're looking at this, is that there's only one loose red other than the red that you're going to go for. So if you get this red, you need to be in a position on the colour where you can either disturb the pack or get on the last single red. Now as you can see, the line that this is currently taking is, at the moment it's got too much power, and the reason why it's got too much power is because that blue line's got a curve in it. Can you see the curve? Basically the harder you hit it, it widens the angle of the white ball. Yeah, so if I hit it at 95% bang on, that is potentially in the rubbish base. It's not going to leave you a shot. It's not going to give you anything. You might be fortunate and glance off something and then have a poke at a yellow or a blue or a long blue, but what you're doing then is you're chasing the white. So what we want to look at trying to do is get the white in a position where you've got options. Now for me, where that white is going to finish there is pretty much on the cushion. So at 26%, the red should roll in and the white should rest against the cushion. Now that's not going to help you at all. The last thing you want to be is on the cushion in that position. If there was a colour over the pocket close by, then you'd be laughing because you could just roll that one in. But what we're trying to do here is get in the position where we can either disturb the reds or get on the single red. So what we're thinking is that if we just bump the power up, I would have suggested into about 32, 33-ish. That is roughly going to bounce off the cushion and finish. What we're hoping is that it will finish level with the black, parallel to the top cushion. So let's give that a try and see where it leaves us. I mean, if it doesn't, we can just pop it back into position and give you an idea of the power that you're going to need to get where you need to get to. Now the good thing is, because we're playing this plain ball and it's relatively straight, the actual area for error is larger, so it's not classed as such a high risk shot. So let's give that a try and see where the white ends up. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, because now you've got that option. You've actually eliminated the option of taking this red, and the reason why you've done that is because of how you finished on the black. I mean, you could just roll the black in on that line and hope that the white finishes sort of dead center between the blue and the middle pocket, because then that will give you a look at that single red. The problem you've got with that is it makes your next red harder to then get onto a colour to be able to split the pack, and you've got no options if it goes wrong. So it's all about leaving yourself the right options. And what you want is multiple options all the time. If you're just gunning for one ball every time, you're going to end up losing the white and chasing the white all over the table, and it will come to nothing, and you'll make about 23, 24. You let your opponent in with a split pack and they're just going to go to town on you. I've seen it happen. I've done it before. The best players in my link has done it before, and you get punished. But we don't want to be doing that. So if we just retake that shot again, or try and do something slightly different. Now some attacking players will do this. They will put loads of bottom on it and they will whack the power right up and go, oh look at that, yeah, those reds are going to go everywhere. And You might be lucky, you might be fortunate, you might get away with it, but the problem you've got is that if you don't get away with it, you end up chasing the white again. Now, that's sort of helped in a way because you've got the yellow and possibly the green, but we don't want to accelerate too far because we'll lose the position. I don't want to reset it. I would absolutely 100% recommend that you don't take that shot on, because you have other options to keep the frame safe and on your side. Some might feel that that's a little bit negative, but I can assure you it isn't. It certainly isn't. Again, the idea is that you don't let your opponent score. So let's just try something different. Rather than using the top cushion, you can clearly see that the white ball will actually stop short rather than dropping off the top cushion. So you can actually do this in one foul swoop rather than bounce off a cushion to come up into position. But if you take note of the orange yellowy line, the direction of the object ball that's going into the pocket, the shade is less. So if I take that power, the red won't go in, it won't reach. So you want it as full so it stops accelerating, so it stops going further forward. So I'm looking at 20% just to drop this into the pocket's dead weight. So if we do that, let's see how it positions on the black and what options we have for the next shot. So let's just roll that one in. Slightly over center, which might help us. So the red drops in, and again we're parallel with the top cushion and level with the black. So that again leaves us in this position where we can take the pack on. Yeah, so you have that option to split the reds and make it good for yourself. Again, I wouldn't recommend picking for that single red, purely because of the angle that you have on the black. Alright, so let's try that a different way. If you were to put too much power on it and come too high, and again this will leave you in even the worse position. So that's dead weight and that's going to rest on the cushion. We put it at 32 and it bounces parallel with the black. So if we put it up to about 36, let's see where the white ends up then. Dead weight. It's going to bounce a bit more. Right, now you can see that we finished a little bit high on what we want to do. Now you can still hit the pack here, but you have the issue where is that you're running the risk of sticking on them and just staying at the back of the pack, so it will leave you no options if you split them. So what I tend to do is put the dot on the center of the white and then put it to 100% to see where the white is going to hit the pack if we hit it like that. Now if you just nudge a little bit of topspin onto the ball, you can see that's going to miss the pack. So you need to put it so, if anything, it glances slightly off. Only reason being is that if you don't hit the edge of the reds, the white will stick to it and you won't have any options. Now the chances are you're not going to split these very well, but what you're looking to do is to pick off a couple of reds out in the open, which then allows you to get back onto a colour, whether that would be blue, whether that would be the pink or the black, and then go into the reds again. Yeah, so give that some thought when you're playing your long shots, especially these long shots. Now you're not always going to have this option where you're this straight. On some occasions you're going to have let's say let's try something. Let's just say you're going to have this shot. Yeah, if you're going to have this shot, then you've got a whole heap of problems, and you've got more things to take into account. Let's try and get that red so it goes in. A little bit silly if it don't. So you can see from that line at 50% dead center, the white is going to swing past the black and go back down the table. The problem with that is that pace you have no idea or no control of where the white's going to go. good chances it's a shot to nothing. You may end up on the brown or the green or behind them, or you can even lay a snooker. But what we're trying to do, or look to do, is get position on a colour. So mess about with the power, drop it down and see over the white. You need at least 19.9 to drop the white in, but you don't want the white to stop there, because all you got is a black, tough black into the middle, and that's not what you want to try and get onto the next red. So what I tend to do first is put all the bottom on it, and then put the power up and just maneuver the line. See, now I would be tempted to take that on, and the reason being is that yes, you're not guaranteed the position on the black, but if it sort of rolls over and past the position for the black, there's a good chance you'll have either yellow or blue. So let's give that a try and see what options you get. We missed the red. I'll tell you what, let's try that again. Let's try that again. So because I missed that though, it's going to give me a different blue line. So that's the sort of line we're talking about. Now let's see if this goes in. If this goes in, I'm going to give up, guys, and just let you play your own game. There we go. That's actually very good. That's probably as good as you can ask for, really. Alright, you're not perfectly parallel with the top cushion, but what you have got is you've got the option to put loads of power on the ball, and a touch of just a little bit above centre means you hit the four across the bottom of the pack, the furthest most left one, apart from the single open red, obviously. If you glance that, there's a good chance that you'll poke a couple of reds out, and the white should run against the side cushion, off the side cushion, somewhere near the middle of the table, hopefully sort of between the pink and blue position. There you have four options depending on how the reds split. So again, you know, going back to this shot here, guys, if you consider that, and then play around with the power. That blue line tells you everything. It tells you exactly where it's going to go depending on how you hit the ball. I mean, if you was to put mid bottom on it, the problem with that is that yes, you could swing it past the black, but the chances are you're not going to get position on the black. Forget the red. Do you see what I mean about the white? I mean, don't get me wrong, if the red drops, you're on a yellow, you're on a blue, but again, it's not giving you options. Yeah, it's not giving you the perfect position. So, you know, give that some thought. Let's try that again on medium pace. We want it just to swing below the black. Yeah, again, I've got the red, but I am in no man's land with regards to either getting on that single red or going into the pack. Now, top players will take that black on, but just to give you an idea of how scary that is, they will take that on and they will play that probably roughly that. So what will happen is the white will banana off the top cushion and hopefully strike the bottom of the pack, and there is players out there that will take that on, and they will take that on, and they will capitalise. They will make 70 or 80. I can assure you that now. So it makes your break imperative. Really, really important. If we just give that a look, let's see if we're in the right position. That's it, guys. You know, I mean, that's it for this episode. If you want to leave a like and subscribe, that would be really helpful. And leave comments. You know, you might have a different view. You know, excuse the misreads. That's not very good, but for tutorial purposes, it was just to give you an idea of how to judge your power when playing that long shot. Remember, that rests on the cushion, and about 32, 33 at that angle will sort of pop up to sort of parallel with the black, giving you an attacking opportunity to split those reds. I hope that helps you guys. I hope from that you can get some better positions, and and you know, let me know how you get on with it. You know, let me know if you do something different and how I can improve. But that's all for this video, guys. Cheers. I'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye.